Hello, everybody. This is Kira B. Gladney, and I am coming to my video. I believe this is day 11. I know it's pretty late, but life happens, and I have just put Titus to sleep. If you hear some snores in the background, it's my husband's sleep, but I had to finish this video. I was gonna do this video earlier, but it just so happened that my son fell asleep, and so things happen, so that's why. It is what it is. However, I was driving today and I was just making some errands because for those of us that are part of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the World, we're having our convention next week. So I was doing some last minute stuff, making sure that we had everything we needed for the trip. Along the way, I was listening to a song, very old song, and one of the ad libs just said, brought me from a mighty long way. And I quickened when I was listening to the song because a lot of times we go through life and we go through our walks with God and we look at how far we need to go and the things that we need to achieve and the goals that we want to reach and the objectives that we are trying to accomplish, that we forget where God brought us from and forget that we are so much farther than where we were last year or 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And how we forget that God takes us from faith to faith and from glory to glory, and that it doesn't happen in a day. I thank God for knowing that if it had not been for Him on my side, I wouldn't be where I am. And so, because God has kept us, and because God has made ways for us, and because God has stayed with us and worked with us, even when we weren't at our best, or we weren't thinking our best, or we weren't our best, God still decided to give us mercy. To continue in this journey with Him and to stay on this narrow path, and He's given us the grace to endure and endure that hardness as a good soldier. We must never forget to be thankful. Be thankful for where you are. Be thankful for what you're going through, because there's somebody who is worse than you. And a lot of times we forget to be grateful and to be thankful for where God brought us from, when He brought us out of darkness into this marvelous light. At a time where you used to curse, now when somebody cuts you off on the freeway, you just say Jesus. When you hit your toe on the end of the bed, instead of you saying something in your mind, you say, oh Jesus. Instead of where you used to be angry and you used to be mad and you used to be wrathful, now you've allowed God to give you patience and contentment and allow you to be temperate. And just like even in relationships with your marriage, you find that over year after year, God will mature you, and He will allow you to have patience with your spouse, and He will allow you to have forgiveness with your spouse, and He will give you wisdom over time. So you have to just be grateful and thankful for where God has taken you and where you are right now. A lot of us want to just pivot ourselves to a place of success and a place where we have goals to reach. However, you may not be ready for that. So be thankful for where you are. Be thankful for what you're doing right now. Be thankful for the work that He's doing in you right now, because whether you like it or not, whether you admit it or not, it's good for you. Even the hardship that you endure, it's good for you, because you are being perfected and He is moving you and glorifying you, as well as burning some things off of you, burning some dead mindsets off of you. He's taking the time to help you to fix all of those blemishes before you get to wherever that goal is, before you get to that mountaintop, a blessing in that mountaintop situation. A lot of times we have to travel through the valley, through the rivers, through the hills, through the dry places to get to a place of blessing and fruition and peace and rest and restoration. And so I would just encourage us to understand that even in the time of pressing, you have to be thankful. Even when you haven't reached that mountaintop situation or that mountaintop ideal blessing or goal that you desire to reach, I would encourage you to be thankful, because God is taking you every day. Every day He's perfecting you. Every day He's changing you. Every day He's maturing you into who God wants you to be. And so I just was thinking about that today, and it really made me change my perspective about where I am and where I want to be. Because when you think about how God has brought you from a mighty long way, a place where I used to be so insecure, so sad, so depressed, so suicidal, so lonely, so alone, and just so angry about where I was in life. You know, God will give you such peace where other people see it, and it passeth all understanding, and it will allow you to be able to minister and to encourage other people and let them know that God is real. And if He could change your mind, if He could change your desires, surely can change every person around you. The things that I've gone through in life, people wouldn't even think about that I had gone through, or they won't even think that I'm telling the truth. But God will change you. And when He does it, and He does it so good, and I'm not just talking about things that I went through when I was younger, but I'm talking about things that God will allow you to overcome even now. I thank God for the place that I am. I thank God for Him reassuring me of who I am and that I'm beautiful and that I'm called and that I'm ordained, because at a time and a place where I would never come on anybody's camera, anybody's photo, anybody's video without makeup on, I've come on these videos so many times with no makeup, so many times without a mask, so many times filled with transparency at a time where I used to try to cover up what I've gone through, cover up my struggles, cover up who I am, just to impress other people or for other people not to think less of me. However, I'm thankful that I don't have to care what people think about me as long as God is pleased with my life. As long as His word, I line up with His word, as long as I'm being obedient to His will, as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I thank God. And I'm so thankful that I am not in bondage to other people's opinion about me. I am not held hostage by what people say to me, because, you know, His God's answer for me is yea and amen. And so we don't fear what man can do to us. And so I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful how far God has brought me from, how far He's taking me, and then I'm taking it day by day. I used to tell people all the time, you know, if I had a bad day, I was just like, oh man, it's horrible. They say, how are you doing? Horrible. How are you doing? I'm having a bad day, or whatever the case may be. But I think that now I take it day by day. People ask me, okay, well, Kiera, how are you today? How's motherhood? How's married life? I say, today is good. Because all I can worry about is, I don't have to, let me rephrase it. I don't worry about anything. But all I can be concerned with is today. Let tomorrow take care of itself. If the lilies don't care about being clothed, but they are clothed every day, why am I worried? If the dew is overshadowed every morning with, if the grass is overshadowed every day by the dew, how much more does God care about me? If the ravens, who are scavengers, can just trust that God is going to feed them, why should I worry? Why should I doubt? Why should I fret? Because God is going to do all things but fail. And if I'm rambling of words, it's simply because I'm so tired. But what I'm trying to say is that God will do whatever you need Him to do, and He will be whatever you need Him to be. And we need to be thankful and change our mindsets, because God will take us, and He is taking us from faith to faith and from glory to glory. This is Kiera B. Gladney. I ask you to like and subscribe my videos and subscribe to my channel. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a blessed night. Hopefully, I will do my next video tomorrow earlier so I can do more stuff to it. But yes, I love you guys. God bless you and have a blessed night.